Done? Good afternoon, everyone. Audible to all, right? Great. Can you please give the access to online people also? Done? You live? Yes, sir. Huh? Good afternoon, online people. You can switch on your cameras for a more interactive session. Hello, everyone. My name is Samarjit Mishra. I am the Polity faculty and CEO of Vajiram and Ravi. I welcome you all to Vajiram. I hope this session should help you. Right? Fine with English or bilingual? English? Chalega na? Okay. If you have any doubt, you can always revert back. Okay. So, yes. So I believe a good number of people have joined us online also. We're expecting a little more of crowd, so that's why we delayed the session. But now that we'll start, if anyone is to join, they can join in. How many of you are from Delhi itself? Delhi itself, Delhi. Delhi itself? Residing in Delhi. So you are doing some degree or something in Delhi? In DU colleges? Oh, okay. In some college in Delhi or something like that. Okay. Okay. And how many of you are from Chennai, I mean Tamil Nadu itself? Anyone from IIT Madras itself? Okay. Studying? That's what I'm asking. Yes.
Not residing, but studying.
Studying there. How? Online?
Yeah, online.
Okay, online course. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, and yeah, so you are all a part of this civil society, right? Adhyay. Okay, and that is how you came across Vajiram. Great. So what we'll do is, for your information, Bharat Bhaiya, we can just get it sided. Visible? Board is visible to everyone? Take care. Thank you. So we'll divide the session into 3 parts, ताकि आपको समझ में भी चीजें आए. I'll brief a little about the civil services, what has been the trend, what has been going on, how to prepare for civil services, etc. Second, we'll get one of our students who is going to join as an IPS officer this time, Satakshi, who will be speaking to you so that you also get an insight exactly how an aspirant life looks like before they qualify the exam and how it looks like when they qualify the exam. Whatever doubts you have regarding preparation, you can ask her also. And at the end, what we'll do is we'll open the floor for questions. So you people can ask us directly. The online people, can they ask through the speaker itself? Can they unmute and ask? Great. So online people, you can unmute yourself and ask yourself, but at the end. Getting the point? So we'll divide the entire session into 3 parts. Okay. Let's start with the very first one. Tell me something. How many of you are preparing for civil services? Preparing for it. At least doing something, if not full-fledged one. कुछ तो कर रहे हैं. Oh, okay. Let the hand goes up. We'll see. Good. See. Point is, it is not that from day one only you will be an expert in everything. Na? You have to start from somewhere. Great. And I believe all of you aspire to prepare for the exam. And that's why you are sitting here, right? The same thing goes for online people also. That all of you are looking to prepare for the exam. Great. So let's do one thing. Let's make the session more attractive. Tell me something. What are your basic queries when you look at civil services, or what is your fear when you look at civil services? Is it the huge syllabus? Good number of people? Yes? Oh, okay. Exception. No sir is fine. So for most of the people, it is syllabus, right? Okay. Number 2, timings, like pulling out those 8, 10, 12 hours a day. What people say that you have to take 12 hours a day. Is that a problem also? Or are you able to pull out good number of hours? You are not able to pull out, but that doesn't look like a problem also. Okay, number 2. Number 3, resources. What to study, from where to study. Not a problem? Great, very good. So I believe you have covered your syllabus once. Okay, then how it is not a problem? You cannot be logical and illogical at the same time.
Because I exactly know where to study.
Tell me.
For quality, I can go to Lakshmikant, and I have some other coachings node also.
Very good. So that is where you fail the exam. How? No. Polity faculty only. So the point is, you need to understand a few things. If it was Lakshmikant alone who could give you a rank, then all of you would be having a rank. Getting it? So you need to, why I asked you these 3 basic questions is because there are, and don't mind what I said, I'm just joking all around. So the point is, this exam is not a difficult exam. We generally make it a difficult exam because there are many myths surrounding the exam. One of those myths is that it is an exam which is next to impossible to crack. Let me start by saying a very, very simple thing, that every year there are 1000 students, odd students, who are qualifying this exam, which means every year there are 1000 new ways of qualifying this exam. Getting the point? Which means no one good way कि इसी तरीके से होगा. No one way that this is the only way is the solution to this exam. Making sense? Once you start accepting this fact that I can prepare through my ways and I can still qualify the exam, a good amount of load is shedded from your head. I generally tell to thousands of students that we interact in the class, don't try to copy someone. You may take the good things from others, but that doesn't mean that if rank 1 or rank 2 or rank 100 or rank 500 did something and I copy it exactly, I will also become rank 1, 2 or 5 or 100 or 500. Making sense? Which means all of you will have exactly your own ways of preparing for this exam. However, certain things remain constant. For example, the book list or the book resource. And here you need to understand that this exam is not an exam in parcels, which means not in silos. You cannot prepare for the exam that let me prepare for prelims first. If I pass, then I will prepare for mains. And if I pass, then I will prepare for that of the interview. That is not the case. That is because, let's go step by step. If you look at this exam, there are 3 stages of the exam. Getting the point? And the entire stage would take you close to 1.5 years. So the exam looks like here. In the month of May, we'll have the prelims exam. Getting it? Towards the end of August or sometime even convening to that of September, we will have our main exam or mains. The gap between these 2 exams is hardly 90 days. Getting it? And within the next 55 to 60 days, your call for interviews will start. Getting it? Which will go till almost mid-April of that year. And then you can understand in the next 20 days, you are having your next prelim exam. Getting the point? Which means, till the time you have not cleared the exam, do you understand that you are aiming the next prelims? So I'll tell you one thing. For example, last year, I think it was Ishita Kishore who got rank 1. Do you remember the name, Ishita Kishore? Great. So Ishita was a classroom student only, as a result of which I was knowing her before the exam result came in. So once the result came in, I visited her back at her place. She lives in Greater Noida only.
So she was an alumni from our school. She has passed up.
So when it's a good thing. Okay. So when I visited her home, I could see good number of books being opened. What I'm trying to tell you, try to understand that. If you understand this, then only you will take the seriousness of the exam. So when I went there, a good number of books were opened. And my question was like, what were you doing when the result came in? And she told me, sir, I was preparing for the upcoming prelims only. And that's the state of mind of rank 1 of India. Till your name is not there in the list, you are preparing for this exam. Making sense? No one knows, either with the prelims or with the mains or with the interview, that you are going to qualify the exam. Even if you get a gut feeling that yes, my exam went really well, mera ho jayega, I'll get a rank. No one knows whether that rank will give you All India service or a central service. Whether that rank in All India service will give you your home cadre or you are not getting your home cadre, or whether you are going to miss the list by probably 1, 5 or 10 marks. No one knows it. Getting it? Which means you cannot prepare for the exam in silos. Which means you have to prepare the exam in an integrated format. Mathematically, all of you can understand, if the gap is 90 days between these 2 exams, you cannot start anything from zero to prepare for the main exam. Am I making sense? Getting the point? Which means whatever you are going to do in the main exam, it has to be started way back. But then, with the increasing amount of complexity of the prelim exam, you all have to understand that you have to give some dedicated time to the prelim exam itself, which means there has to be a prelim exclusive preparation, which generally speaking starts in the month of January and continues for the next 5 to 6 months till May. Which means if I'm going to read my prelim syllabus here, I should be ready with my main syllabus on 31st of December of the preceding year. ये समझ में आ रहा है? Is it making sense? Which means I have to prepare for the exam for these 7 to 8 months. And here has to be main preparation. And that is where you will understand that the syllabus of UPSC is given in a way that whatever you read in the main exam, a part of it becomes the prelim exam. Understood? Which means none of you can just prepare for prelim exam or main exam. You have to go for an integrated preparation. You have to go for a prelim cum mains preparation. No one has ever qualified this exam by only reading the prelim exam or only reading the main exam. You have to strategize it. Getting it? Which means you need to understand that only when I prepare for my main exam, a part of it will be transforming itself to become what is the prelim exam. Getting it? And the logical explanation of it is given by UPSC itself. I'm sure you must have seen the syllabus of the exam at least. Dekha hai? Do you know at least the one who were saying that they are preparing? Can you help me out with the syllabus? Can you help me at least with the subject? Tell me, in GS1, what are the subjects?
History of India, geography.
Very good. So there are 3 sections. The first section is history, the second one is geography, and the third one is Indian society or social issues. Can you tell me in history what are the sections? Ancient India, medieval India, culture, which is embedded in both of them. Part of culture only, isn't it? Then modern India, very good. Then post independence, अरे इंडिया खत्म कर देते हैं फिर बाहर जाएंगे, ठीक है. And then comes world history. These are the 6 topics of what do you say, history. Okay. For geography, there are 3 parts. The first one is physical geography, the second one is human geography, and the third is Indian geography. Society remains like this. Getting it? Okay. Look at the board and tell me what comes in the prelim exam. Okay, what you have to leave? Society, post-independence, world history, human geography. Getting the point? Is this plan making sense now? समझ में आया? If you only prepare for one exam, you will not be able to click it. If you prepare for the main exam, prelims becomes a part of the main exam itself. Making sense? That's your GS1. Similarly, tell me something. What is there in GS2? There are 4 subjects. What are those? Polity and constitution. Then governance. Then international relation. Very good. And then social justice. Social issue beta yahan pe tha. Social justice. What is the difference between social issue and social justice? What is the difference?
In social justice, we will talk about a utopian society, I think. And in social issue, we will discuss about the various social issues that are currently going in our society.
Anybody else?
Social we talk about like what are the problems currently pursuing the society, and in social justice we try to and how are we gonna comprehend or solve those social issues in the society, how we are gonna take ethical reasons.
There is a fine line of difference. In both the subjects, we talk about social issues. The difference lies in solution. If we are solving the issues via legal instruments like laws and institutions, that is social justice. If we are solving those issues by values and societal method, then that would be social issues. You will read about women empowerment in both the cases. There, the solution to women empowerment will come by erasing patriarchy and increasing education and awareness in the society. Here, the solution will come by implementing laws like Prohibition of Domestic Violence Act, Dowry Abolition Act, those kind of laws. Making sense? Great. Is this clear? Can you tell me what are the sections which will come in prelims? It is just the polity, nothing else. Making sense? Huh? Okay. GS3 mein what are the subjects? So economics is there, which includes agriculture also. You read agriculture at two parts. One is in geography, another is in agriculture. Then second is science and tech, then internal security, then environment, and then disaster management. What are the things which will come in prelim exam? Economics, science and tech, environment, disaster management. Rather, there is a great amount of importance given to these two subjects because the selection of Indian Forest Service exam also happens from the same exam itself. Making sense? Huh? Is this making sense? Okay. Then comes GS4, and this subject is all about ethics, integrity, and aptitude. And nothing of this sort will come in the prelim exam. But is it making sense that only when you prepare wholeheartedly for the mains exam, a part of it will become your preparation of the prelim exam itself, which means your preparation should always be pre-cum-mains preparation. Getting the point? Which means the books that you are going to pick up are always going to be pre-cum-mains books. Beta, Lakshmikant, इसीलिए मना किया था. समझ आया? So what will happen with Lakshmikant? It's a very good book. But the problem with it is a pre-oriented book. Let me assume you are one of the finest candidate and you qualified your prelim exam here. Tell me something. Can you read a new book for polity in these 90 days? Let me tell you, your total mains exam, it comprises of three things. One is general studies, another is optional, and the third is essay. Getting it? Optional, there are two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. GS, we just read there are 4 papers, there are 21 topics. Can you read 21 new books? That's the question. If you understand this, your preparation will be smooth. Otherwise, what 90% of students are doing, you will do that. Your entire preparation will be lopsided, or what you say, inclined towards prelims alone. And that's why, even though 13,000 people are qualifying the prelims exam every year, 3,000 are the one who are called for interview, which means almost 8 to 9,000 fail the main exam because their preparation is majorly prelims oriented. So make sure your preparation is holistic from day one itself. So whatever books you take, and I am no one to tell you the books, it is something which is available on a click of your finger. Just go to Google and write down book list for UPSC and you will get it, right? Just take the books which make sense for both the phases. Don't fall for market forces. Take a book which makes sense for you to qualify this exam. You are not here to impress any coaching, any publisher, any book or any topper. You are here to make a career for yourself. Whatever helps you qualifying this exam, do take the help of it. Making sense? Making sense? Okay. Now, as far as GS is concerned, your preparation should be pre-cum mains oriented, number 1. Number 2, your book list should be minimal, which means the golden rule is at least 1 book and maximum 2 books for any of the subjects. Making sense? Remember one thing, minimum books, maximum revision is the key to success. Making sense? Great. Now let's come to one of the most important parts, your preparation. Remember, for most of you who have not yet started, your preparation starts by reading the newspaper of tomorrow. If you are not reading a newspaper, take my words, you are not preparing for this exam. Newspaper is fundamental for the preparation of this exam. Even you will be speaking to Satakshi also in some times. So ask her the importance of newspaper, the importance of current affairs. That is because in the last 8 to 10 years, so to say, the trend of the exam has changed completely. Earlier, the UPSC exam was all about getting into depth of definitional part of subjects, which means what is this, what is that, how is this, how is that. Now the question has all become about why is this, why is that, tell us this. For example, I'll tell you 2 questions and that will help you to understand where UPSC is going. So earlier, the questions were simple, like let's suppose ethics, one very common thing that all of you can understand without any technical knowledge. It would ask that, what do you mean by emotional intelligence and what are the components of emotional intelligence? Getting the point? Now this was more about definitional type of question where we could write what is this concept and what are its components, which has been given by some thinker. Very, very easy for anyone who has read the concept. Now the same concept has been asked in 2021 from a very simple thing, that is, what is the application of emotional intelligence in administration? Getting the point? So you see the question has been changing. For example, it asked a question in 2014, question number 1, that what happiness means to you. It is not asking what is happiness to Gandhiji. It is not asking what is happiness to Ravindranath Tagore. It is not asking what is happiness to James Hobbes. It's simply asking you that what happiness means to you. You can only write these answers in your exam if your preparation is analytical from day 1 itself. So make sure that the way you are preparing the exam, it is analytical and not based on rote memorization. Getting it? Okay. Do we need to look at these comments or we can just avoid them? Okay. Take care. So what we'll do next is, we will call Satakshi, let her discuss with you what exactly has been her experience, and then later if you have any question, because question and answer format will be a very good thing to go ahead with, let her come and talk to you about her experience. You speak to her, and at the end if there are any questions, we'll take it. Fine? Because I believe your intention is more to talk to a topper than to understand UPSC. This is what I get to know from the comments at least. Isn't it? Let me tell you, it is a teacher will help you qualify this exam. Okay, so we'll call one topper. You please have an interaction. I believe at the end of the day, you will be able to learn something. That is more important because you people have come over here. Okay, so we'll call her. If you have any doubt, I'll be available at the end and we'll continue then. Getting the point? Okay. Give us a minute.
इसको कैसे
ठीक.
unmute करना?
Thank you, beta. Ready? Satakshi can go in. All the best. Pen दे देना Satakshi को.
Hi. Good evening. No need to stand. Please sit down, everybody. Hi. So my name is Satakshi Sinha, and this year I have secured rank 204 in civil services. Hopefully, I'll be getting IPS this time. So I'll briefly introduce how I got into the journey and how I began preparation for the civil services. So deciding on I wanted to be a civil servant was in childhood. I decided that when I was in class 4th. So after 12th, I pursued my graduation in BA, Humanities subject, since I wanted to pursue it further. So even in my college days, like you all are in college, I began the preparation, not full-fledged preparation, but just getting into the loop, reading the basic NCRTs and syllabus mapping. What is the syllabus? What are the topics that I had to cover? And deciding on the optional, what optional I wanted to take. I had 3 subjects in my graduation: economics, political science, and sociology. I studied these 3 in my graduation and narrowed it down on sociology, that I wanted to pursue it. So after my graduation was done, I began preparing full-fledgedly for the exam. And I gave my first attempt. I completed graduation in 2020, and in 2021 I gave my first attempt. So I was under the illusion that I am fully prepared. I was overconfident but underprepared. I did not take the seriousness that this exam requires. Even after being acquainted for this exam for 3 years, I was not serious. I was just underestimating the level of difficulty this exam has. Difficulty, not exactly the difficulty, but the level of preparation and direction. I was a bit clueless. So as a result, I could not clear my prelims in the first attempt by a huge margin, 20 marks. The cutoff was, I think, some 87 something, and I got 67. So that was my first attempt. Second attempt, I began preparing a little better, but again I missed the cutoff by 2 marks. And then I moved to Delhi after that. I thought maybe I'm being distracted at my home or something like that. But by then, and I completed my optional subject in 2020 itself by taking online coaching. So optional was done and dusted. The main roadblock was prelims. So in my third attempt, I focused excessively on clearing prelims. I was not focusing much on mains. So as a result, I cleared prelims by 2 marks. It was a very near margin. And I got the chance to write mains. But again, I was excessively focused on clearing prelims that I missed preparing for mains. So optional was done. So I scored well in optional, but GS was terrible. So as a result, I could not clear mains. So in fourth attempt, after the mains results were declared and I did not qualify, so I gave 2 months completely to prepare for mains this time before the prelims began. Prelims preparation began. So I cleared prelims, and this time prelims I cleared by around 20 marks. 87 was the cutoff and I scored 107 in my fourth prelims, this recent prelims. And mains also I cleared, got the interview call, gave the interview, and I got this rank this time. So I'll be pursuing it further this time, not this time, next year again I'll be giving prelims so to improve my rank. So that is about the journey. And about the preparation, so preparation specific questions we will take in the question and answer session. I will guide you through what was the basic level of preparation, how I did. For firstly, the most important thing is reading newspaper. I got this habit just after I passed my school. I started reading The Hindu. You can choose any paper, The Hindu, Indian Express, whatever you feel comfortable with. That is non-negotiable. Just get into the groove. It will help you know what is happening around you. This exam is all about general awareness. You need to be aware. For prelims, mains, as well as interview, all three stages require that certain level of awareness and maturity from the aspirant side. That newspaper will provide you. It will provide you a background, an conducive environment for your preparation. So start doing that. Secondly, in graduation years, what you should focus on is analyzing the PYQs, which is very important. The third prelims which I cleared and the fourth prelims which I cleared, the main difference was that PYQ analysis. In my first two prelims which I could not qualify, I did not focus on analyzing the PYQs. I was more focused on test series. So test series are important, but to get you into that MCQ mode, but not as important as PYQs are. So just any of you, if you want to begin the preparation, these two things I would recommend from my side. Start reading newspaper and start doing PYQ analysis, prelims questions, mains questions. So that is about my journey. Any questions you all want to ask, so we can take up that, I think.
Students who are trying from online platform, they are asking you questions, so you can take from.
So questions. और questions है नीचे? I don't see any questions here. You people, do you have any questions?
Discuss your book list.
My book list? Yeah, sure. Subject wise, I'll give you the book list. Firstly, prelims, then mains, the book list I will discuss. For prelims, polity, M. Lakshmikant. So, of course, everybody knows that. What I did was making notes out of it. The book is very bulky, very big. So we lack the motivation to read that book again and again. Just make notes out of that and comparative notes. Like for example, topics like parliament. So divide the page into two. One side parliament, one side state legislature. You will have a comparative analysis, and when such questions come, what powers are with parliament, what are with state legislature, you would be able to differentiate because of your notes. Similarly with president and governor and prime minister, chief minister, these kind of things, you can make comparative notes. So make notes out of this M. Lakshmikant book. This is done for polity. Then economy. Economy, I did very basic books like the NCRTs, the macroeconomics NCRTs that is there, and being aware about current affairs. You can see the PYQs, you will understand that how much importance this NCRT of macroeconomy holds. And thirdly, what subject is there? Environment. Environment, I think there is some NCRT, biology, I think 12th class NCRT, last 4 chapters of that book, and Shankar IAS environment book, selective reading of that book. It's a very bulky book, whole book is not required. What chapters to select, you will understand by doing the PYQ analysis. When you go through the PYQs, you will understand what chapters are important, what are not. So you will have to study that selectively. Then comes science and tech. Science and tech, I just focused on current affairs. My science and tech, I am from humanities background, so I was not very much well versed with science and tech. It was my weakness. And this was also the difference. In first 2 prelims and last 2 prelims, I ignored science and tech and environment in first 2 prelims. But these two have gained importance in the past few years. So science and tech, I think I took some online course. There is something that they're available on YouTube or something. Some playlist was there, I saw that. I don't remember it particularly, but I saw some videos for that, science and tech. And what subject? Geography, yes, geography. For geography, the basic NCRT 6 to 12th, in that the 11th class book, Fundamentals of Physical Geography, that is most important. Last year, some 5-6 questions came directly from that book. So that is non-negotiable. And history. History, for modern history, I did Rajavahir's Spectrum and selective reading of Bipin Chandra, 1-2 chapters, and that is also for mains. Spectrum would suffice. And also in Spectrum, the first 4 chapters have gained importance. You have to go through theme wise, because modern history is a bulky subject. So you need to understand what areas are important. Earlier, the freedom struggle used to come. Right now, from past 3-4 years, the first 4 chapters of these books, the advent and expansion of European powers in India, that chapters have gained importance. Every word of that chapter is important. And for ancient and medieval history, medieval history, there is Tamil Nadu board book. I think Tamil Nadu board book 11th and 12th, ancient and medieval. I did that book. It gives you a good chronological order of how things happen. And apart from that, fine arts NCRT. Fine arts NCRT, every 11th class, every word of that book is important. You will see in the past years, the question have been asked, the pictures given in that book, the description of those pictures, word to word, that book is important. Just Google those words sometimes, like for example, arhats, something related to Buddhism, just make a glossary out of it, search those words on Google. So these books would suffice for ancient history. And medieval history, there is this book, Themes in Indian History, Part 2. That for medieval history and from Tamil Nadu board, that's it. Medieval history, I did not focus much because it was not my strong point. And what happens in history, I think students fear FOMO, that I have not studied enough. So the questions that will come, it's not like the only ancient history questions would decide your marks, whether you're clearing prelims or not. Clearing the prelims is decided by doing those questions right, which everybody is doing right. Because what happens is, when question is easy, we tend to falter in that. We think this is so easy and we just mark wrong answer in that by being overconfident. As I said, in first prelims I was overconfident. So overconfident, you should be very cautious when the questions are easy. So do these basic books and you will be able to clear prelims. So these are the basic books. Questions, okay. Okay. Yes, get acquainted with the syllabus, preparing in the last year of graduation, it's advisable. If you can manage it with your college studies, so it's well and good. Notes making is very time consuming. How to tackle this? Notes making is time consuming. Actually, there are different views on this. Some people make online notes to make it easy, but I don't prefer that. I need pen and paper to make notes. However, time consuming is it. What happens is, I'll give you an anecdote for that. After I did not clear my mains, I got 2 months to begin preparation for prelims again. In those 2 months, I consolidated my notes for GS2. GS2 subject is in mains. It consists of polity, social justice, governance and IR. In my first mains, I did not have consolidated notes. I studied from here and there, some monthly magazine here and there. But this time I consolidated notes. For every topic I made handwritten notes. So that made the difference, and I scored a huge jump in that paper too because of those consolidated notes. I think I scored some 85 or 90 in first time in my first mains in GS2, and this time I scored 111 something. So there was a huge jump because of notes consolidation. So notes making, however time it consumes, you people are in graduation years, you can afford, you have some time in your hand. So please go for notes making. And you people are from science background, so it's easier for you. You can make short notes also. Being objective is your thing, so you can make objective notes. So be crisp in your notes, so it will help you later in all the stages. How to approach question in mains, like I have the information to answer the question. How to approach question in mains. Okay, so what happens is, in answer writing consists of two parts: structure and content. Content you will get from these book list, online sources, your notes or anything. So content more or less every student has, and people living in ORN, they have content which overwhelms them. So it is never about the content problem. The problem is about structure, how to structure the answer. For that, what I did was referring to topper copies. Whatever subject I am studying, for example, I am studying GS2, I used to find out which topper scored good in this subject and used to refer the topper copies of that student, which is available on online portals. Different coaching institutes publish the topper copies which the student took in their test series. So they publish them, just go through them. For example, I refer to Medhanand ma'am copies and Adhyay Srivastava sir's copies. They scored very well in ethics and GS2. So for ethics and GS2, I used to refer to those copies. So what happens is, when you have content, you do not know how to reproduce that in exam, the replicability of your content. So you will understand by analyzing their copies that how they are using content from paper 1 in paper 3. From paper 3 to paper 4, the cross fertilization of content, that you will get, because the UPSC preparation is not in silos, that today I am studying polity, when I will write answer, it will consist only of polity. No, you can give example in there from internal security as well. You can analyze internal security issue from political science, polity lens, constitutional lens, as well as from IR lens. For example, crisis in the northeast, that is not just about internal security, it is also about IR, the relations with Myanmar, the relations with Bangladesh, the sea routes and everything. You have to analyze these topics dimensionally. So whenever a question comes, you do not know exactly the answer for, what you can do is the syllabus mapping. For this, you need to, one thing, you need to be very well versed with the syllabus. You need to memorize the syllabus. And why I say this is because a question comes and you don't know what to write in that answer. You're not able to generate points for that. So you start analyzing that question from the points mentioned in the syllabus. For example, judiciary, separation of powers, local governance, how the certain question can be approached from all these topics mentioned in the syllabus. So you will be able to generate a lot of points for that. So be well versed with the syllabus and PYQs and reading newspaper. These three things, just start doing it if you are planning to appear for civil services. Views on history as an optional. My optional was sociology, so I have specialization in that. I cannot answer for history. Any more questions?
Can you share your book list for sociology?
For sociology, how many students have sociology optional? Deciding on sociology optional.
What was your score in sociology?
My sociology optional score in my first mains, it was 253, and this year it's 290. So this year I have scored highest in sociology. So for sociology, actually there is a video uploaded on Vajiram's portal. Yesterday it got uploaded. My strategy, my book list and everything is mentioned over there. It's a 40-minute long video. So if you are thinking of taking sociology as an optional, you can refer to those. And there are some generic points as well that are applicable to other humanities subject as well. So if you're choosing any humanities optional, specifically sociology, you can refer to that video. You can just type sociology Shatakshi Sinha, you will get that video. So any sociology related query you can do there, because here we should keep it general because not everybody is willing to take sociology. Any other question from here? Yes, please.
First thing first, I would like to congratulate for getting.
Thank you so much.
My question is regarding the sociology option only.
Okay.
What makes you think to choose sociology over pol science or economics which you already have in your bachelor's?
Okay. So firstly, my graduation was 3 years. In my first year of graduation, I thought I will take economy. So, but then it overwhelmed me. It was more on scientific lines, the data, that we have to do statistics and all those things. So I did not have the aptitude for that. Secondly, I decided on PSIR. So I started reading some material and here and there, but I understood I had more interest in international relations. But political science as a subject, it was too bulky and it was not of my interest. I was not interested in politics. Then I studied sociology and I got so actually I read an article also. The subject which you should choose, firstly, should be based on your interest, and secondly, the subject you think you can comfortably study if you are made to for continuous 12 hours without fatigue and without getting bored. So sociology was that thing. I could study continuously for 12 hours without getting bored. So that is one of the criteria. Other objective criteria are how much the optional is being scoring in recent years. These considerations are there, but if you're good with your optional, you can score well. There is nothing like it got scaled down or the word that butchered that is used some optional get. So if you're comfortable with a subject, you should pursue that, because some people take optional based on whimsical decisions, like it's scoring well, I should take this subject, but it's not their subject. Like sociology, I feel like it is my subject. I would never trade sociology even if I'm scoring less. I will look for ways to improve my marks in sociology. So when you decide on optional, right now you have time. So you can take some time, read some NCRTs of the basic subjects. If humanities you are taking, you can get NCRTs of 11th and 12th. So you can take it up from there, what subject piques your interest. So that's about sociology. Any other question from here? Yes, please.
What are the nuances which we should keep in mind while we are reading newspaper and we are making notes out of it?
Notes making, firstly. I did not make notes for newspaper except for the interview part. For interview, I made notes, but for prelims, mains and general, I did not make notes, because what happens is, like one question was there also, notes making is overwhelming. While making general studies notes, even making newspaper notes becomes very daunting. Reading the newspaper itself takes 1.5 to 2 hours. In the beginning, it takes 3 hours who have not read the newspaper earlier. So do not make notes, just read the newspaper daily, and when the month ends, monthly magazines come of different institutes, Vajiram's recitals or any other institute, whatever you feel comfortable with, just pick that monthly magazine and go through that in an objective manner, because those notes are prepared professionally. We cannot prepare those kind of notes every day under polity head, economy head. Just what reading newspaper will help you in, it will help you to gauge the situation which is economy in, the polity is in, and reading those and remembering those monthly magazines will become relatively easier for you. Just not reading newspaper and getting that monthly magazine and starting to rote learn it, that's not a good strategy, because you already have so much to learn and read that notes making for newspaper I don't recommend. If you like, you can make online notes out of it, but written notes will consume a lot of time in newspaper reading. And the nuances of newspaper reading, firstly, just start reading it. You need to prepare issue based preparation. Like there are some issues, for example, one nation, one election, it is in news. What you need to focus on is, what is the concept of one nation, one election? Why is it good? Why is it not good? What will happen if it is made applicable right now? What will happen if it is postponed for 10 years? What committees are related to that? That issues you need to be well versed with. No, what not one political party has to say or other political party has to say. You need to have issue based preparation. That will help you in mains. And prelims, what helps is, things get stuck in your mind. I'll give you an anecdote. Like I read in 2018-19 newspaper, there was some editorial on Spain's separatist movement. Catalonia, there is a place in Spain. So there was some separatist movement there. I just read that article vaguely. I was just reading, skimming through the newspaper. In 2019 or 20's prelims, a question came in Match the Column. Catalonia is related to which country? So I just remembered I read that time in newspaper. I didn't read it in monthly magazine, because that time I was not preparing like formally for the exam, but I remembered that I could solve that question because I had read that thing in 1.5 or 2 years before in newspaper. So it will give you a background. Like this time I appeared, I've been reading newspaper since 2017. So I am being aware what state of economy, what is the state of international relation, what is the state of the Indian polity since past 8 years. So it just creates a background. It is high time in graduation years, if you want to pursue civil services, just start reading newspaper. It will give you a image of the society you live in. So that is about reading newspapers. Yes.
मैम एज यू मेंशनड दैट वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन, मैम ये इशू हो गया या फिर और फार्म इशू हो गया, ऐसे जो इशू होते हैं उन पे हम लोग को एक एस्पिरेंट के तौर पे एक पर्सपेक्टिव फॉर्म करना रहता है। जो हम लोग उस पर पर्सपेक्टिव फॉर्म करें वो एक साइड मतलब अलाइन होना चाहिए या फिर एक मतलब बैलेंस करके सोल्यूशन की तरफ जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि जैसे कुछ इशू में होता है कि हम लोग वन साइडेड सोल्यूशन उसका सही रहता है, लेकिन फिर कई लोग बोलते हैं कि मतलब एक बैलेंस आपको दिखना चाहिए एक पर्सपेक्टिव में और वो बीच में होना चाहिए। तो
For mains, you need to take a balanced opinion. You need to analyze the pros, the cons, and the way forward. The answer has to be futuristic. Okay. But things differ in interview. If you're asking for mains, this is what you should be balanced. In interview, it differs. You need to take a stand over there. Even if it is extreme, you need to balance it with certain nuances. But you can take a stand there. But in mains, you need to be balanced. You cannot write something extreme. So you need to be balanced. Even in what stand is constitutional. That is it. What the use constitution. Whenever you face the difficulties, use DPSPs. That's why reading all these things will make you think, have an imaginative thinking. So that will help you sail through in these questions. So in constitution, international covenants, you could use these as defense for making a point. You yourself making a point, that might seem you're taking a stand, but using these documents, using judgments, committee reports, for making the point will make you look you like you're well prepared, you're well aware. So these things you can do in such type of things. So now, yes.
Can you share your interview experience?
My interview experience. My interview experience. Firstly, I joined interview guidance program here, and I got a lot of help from the faculty, Adhyay sir. So he guided me what are my weak areas and everything. So I prepared accordingly. So I gave a one-to-one session to Ravindran sir also, and it was a good experience. I got Suman Sharma's ma'am's board, and questions were less related to DAF. They were opinion-based questions, like I mentioned, one nation, one election, electoral funding, and about women empowerment, and what else did they ask? The state of economy of Bangladesh in the lieu of USA tariff wars. So these things, opinion-based questions were there. Two questions from DAF about my hometown, that is Jabalpur, and about one question about my hobby, mandala art. That was it. So, and I scored 187 in interview, which is above average score. So that's it. Any other question here?
How to prepare for ethics?
Ethics actually is not my very strong point, but what I did was I made topic wise notes for them, and ethics, I don't think I can guide you very well in that. You can refer to some, I just scored 110 this time. Last year also I scored 101, so there is not much improvement. So I don't think I can guide much in ethics. So I will take some questions from here. Okay, about motivation during preparation. So keep studying. People keep asking me that what kept you motivated. Watching these motivational videos will give you just motivation, external motivation for some time. You need to have internal motivation. This is a long journey. My journey was from 2017. I consider it from there. Started preparing after everything. Decision I took was to appear for this exam, taking humanities and reading newspaper, everything. So it's a 7 8 year long journey. So keeping yourself motivated, you should have a strong reason why you're preparing for this exam. It might sound cliched that have a strong reason and everything, but that is the only thing which will keep you motivated. If you're preparing, my friend is preparing, or your parents are saying that's why you start preparation, what happens is now after 1-2 years you just give up. No, I don't want to do that, because you yourself don't have any internal motivation to pursue this exam. I have seen some of my friends who took the preparation just because of peer pressure, because friends were doing, they were toppers in school, so that's why they wanted to do. But later what they did was they just gave up on it. So just and keep studying. Consistency gives you motivation. It happened in my case. I was consistently studying, and that used to be my motivation. Even when you feel demotivated, just study. It's a phase, it will pass. And PYQ and how to do PYQ analysis. Okay, so for the beginners who are about to start the preparation, so PYQ analysis you can do by, if you are starting with polity, or economy or for any subject for that matter, just start going through previous, I think 2015 the pattern changed, so you can refer to PYQs from 2015 or 17, past 8 to 10 years. So just start reading questions, try to solve them. What will happen in 3-4 times when you read those questions again and again and again and again, you will get into the groove how UPSC frames question. This I am talking about firstly prelims, later I will talk about mains. So you get into the groove. For example, in environment, what happens is questions are very dynamic in nature. It's not necessary that you might have studied those in your current affair booklet, because there's so much things happening, you are sure to miss out on something or the other. But when you have done PYQ analysis very well now, you will know what the answer is. For example, 2 years back I think a question came, climate tracker related something. So I did not know the answer to that. But by PYQ analysis, I knew how this question has been framed. Very specific information when it is given in options. It is, I would not say all the time correct, wrong, but most of the times it is wrong. So by PYQ analysis, you get into the head, it gets into your head how the questions are being framed. And even without knowing, not knowing the answer at all, you will be able to deduce the answer from that. You will have that gut, I won't be able to explain how that gut feeling comes, but by repeatedly referring to PYQs, now that gut feeling comes automatically in you. For like this prelims, which I scored 20 marks above the cutoff, I did PYQ analysis, every PYQ 7 to 8 times. 7 to 8 revision in February, March, April, May, 4 months. 7 to 8 times I revised every subject, and whenever I used to revise that subject, I revised the PYQs that many times. 7 to 8 times this prelims. Prelims before that, 4-5 times I revised that time. So in the span of 2 years, I revised those PYQs around 10 times. So it got into my head ki how to do these PYQs. So for prelims it is more, for mains also it is important to get the themes, but prelims it is non-negotiable. You have to do PYQs. So what happens is, for example, this year prelims is on 25th May. So what I used to do was on 25th April, just a month preceding the prelims, I used to stop doing test series, and in last month only PYQs. PYQs all along, February, March, April, May, but in the last year, no test series, because test series have some different pattern. It is important to do test series for prelims to get into that MCQ mode, but PYQs need to be done exhaustively. So that is about prelims PYQ. And mains PYQ, it will just give you themes what are important. Constitution, you know the syllabus, now you have read the PYQs. It's not required to do multiple times, just do it one time and write the important themes, what is to be done in that. Yes.
What was your approach while analyzing the PYQs for prelims as well as mains?
My approach, I told approach that if I'm studying polity today, I will just reading it, just read it repetitively, try to solve it, solve it from pencil. If you got a book of PYQ, just solve it from pencil, then rub it, then when you do it again, just do it again and read the solution. And whatever question, and one thing also helps, the areas you find, the questions you are repetitively doing wrong. What are the areas you are marking the question wrong? Is it the fundamental rights part, or the economy part, or the environment part? You will find, like I found out that my polity was good. If 25 questions are asked, my 22 questions would be right in that. And in science and tech, initially my answers used to be wrong. Environment, gradually I developed a knack for it. So accuracy, yes, accuracy is the word. You will find out in which subject you have high accuracy and in which subject you have low accuracy. So in that way you will be able to take a call in exam whether to take an educated guess. For example, if a question of environment, I have good accuracy in that, I acquired the good accuracy in that. In polity, I naturally had accuracy for that. So even if I don't know the answer, I will go to solve that question. Okay, I have accuracy. Even if I don't know the answer and I take educated guess, I automatically come to the right answer. But in ancient history, medieval history questions, I don't have that kind of accuracy. Even if I'm taking educated guess, most of the time it would be wrong. So this analyzing the PYQs will help you to know the areas where you can take an educated guess, where you could afford to take an educated guess, and where you could not. Because if you make a lot of mistakes in guessing the answers, the score will become negative because there is negative marking. So finding out these areas. So PYQ helps in that. Shall we make short notes out of newspaper? I told not to make notes for out of newspaper except for interview preparation. How much role do value addition and examples, the role of examples in mains? Okay. So when you're generically making some arguments, if some question is asked about basic structure doctrine or what do I say? Any question about social justice, women empowerment is made, self-help groups is made. When you give examples, you validate your point. You show the examiner that what you are talking about in your point, you prove it. You show an example, a proof that your point is valid. So to validate your point, you need examples. So there is giving examples plays an important role, but don't go obsessively over it. Just have some limited set of examples topic wise and use them repetitively. For example, the Kudumbashri self-help group, the Millet Sister Network self-help group in Odisha. You could use these examples in questions related to women empowerment, hunger and malnutrition and SHGs, community engagements, even in governance as a partner of government, and paper 1, paper 2, in paper 4 also, ethics also you can use these examples, the governance aspect of ethics. So you have a set of limited examples and use them repetitively, because it's not possible and it is not practical to have 15 to 20 examples for every topic of the syllabus. So that is about it. Questions? Okay.
Any question?
Yes.
What should be the ideal range of attempts during the prelims?
That you need to find out by doing the test series. Like my accuracy, I don't know what would you deduce from that, but when I do 90 questions around, my score is above the cutoff, whether 2 marks, 3 marks, 10 marks, 20 marks, but I need to do 90 questions, because in my first 2 prelims I did around 75, 80, 85 questions, but when I do above 90 questions, my score improves. So I think it means I have low accuracy, or yes, low accuracy. So but if your accuracy is very high, that comes if you are good in all the subjects, your accuracy is high. So even doing 65 to 70 question also works. So that differs from person to person. Yes.
Ma'am, if you get a chance to get back in your preparation period, so what are the top 2 mistakes which you want to improve?
Top 2 mistakes, okay. So not in prelims, means obviously I would like to improve. Firstly in ethics, I said I'm not good in ethics. I would like to make some improvement in ethics. And what else I would like to do? That is what I can think about right now.
Overall, like in habit or routine?
Okay, my routine.
Overall.
My routine was quite disciplined, so I did not face a problem in routine. So I really don't know about this. Till now I could only find out the problem in ethics. So that is about that. Because having a good routine, that's not a problem. That comes naturally to serious aspirants. So I don't think routine and all is a problem to candidates appearing seriously for this exam.
As you said that you are from arts background, so did CSAT make any, was there any difficulty with facing?
Yes, of course, CSAT. Yes, I'll tell you. My score in CSAT first, I will tell you, 4 prelims I have given. In my first prelims, 66.66 is the cutoff and I scored 66.67, 0.1. I could not clear the prelims that time, but CSAT, this close it was. In my second prelims in CSAT, I scored something around 80. In the third prelims that I cleared, again, I scored 66.67 and I cleared that prelims by 0.1 marks. I could have missed it, flunked it. So, and in fourth attempt, I scored around 85 in this time. So CSAT, a lot of people I have seen who have scored high in GS but flunk the CSAT. I have been blessed about that, clearing the CSAT. So there are 3 areas in CSAT. Firstly, logical reasoning, mathematics and reading comprehension. What is there? 2 areas you must be strong, very strong, above average, very good. And in 1 area, you need to be average, not bad. You need to be average. So I was very strong in logical reasoning and reading comprehension, but I was terrible at maths, not even average. Well, I was good in school, and school level maths only comes, but solving those questions in those span of time was a very difficult task for me. So what I did was, I referred to CSAT again PYQs, CSAT PYQs, and there was some pattern of questions, time, distance, speed or something like that. So I saw the solution to those questions and wrote the formula, what formula is used in solving these questions. So I read that sometimes and tried to solve maths. I saw some videos on YouTube, there were some Again, I don't remember which videos were those, but you will type CSAT explainer videos or something of that sort, you will find that. So I think maths would be your strong point, you people. So I don't know about that. Mine was weak. So keep two things very good, and one thing you need to be above average. You should improve if you are terrible in any one of those. So reading comprehension should be taken care of by reading the newspapers, and just find out logical reasoning and mathematics, whatever you're good or bad at, and try to improve.
How to revise? Because once we complete the syllabus and we go to revise, then we tend to forget the stuff that we have already studied.
Repeated revisions. Like again, for prelims or mains? Both, no?
Yes.
Okay, for prelims, firstly I will talk about prelims. Initially, polity will take, when you're reading it first time, it will take you a month or sometimes even 2 months to read it and make notes out of it. But when you read it second time, the time would also reduce. Now you have notes, you will take lesser time to revise those subjects. At the end, what will happen is, when there is 1 month left to prelims, my notes, I was capable of completing polity in 5 to 6 hours. So when you do it repetitively, it just gets into your brain. When you try to remember, sometimes it may happen that you do not remember certain thing, but when the question comes in front of you, the options are there, you will remember. So the repeated revision is the key, and be confident in, like, you know these things. You have read the basic books and you will be able to solve the question. So just repetitive revision, even for mains, that also stands to just revise it 2-3 times, whatever your notes are. Keep writing. What in mains, when you keep writing, the content comes to your brain and it gets replicated. What happens in mains is, if you don't revise well, even after having such strong content, that doesn't replicates in the paper. To replicate that in the paper, you need to revise it 2-3 times and need to give some test series. Test series are very important for prelims as well and for mains as well. Answer writing is very important. So that plays a role.
Ma'am, what kind of test series you took?
What kind of test series for?
Which test series you were part of?
Okay, so test series, I joined essay test series here at Vajiram. I took essay classes and joined essay test series also here. And I joined GS test series, only FLT. Actually, since I'm from humanities background, so I used to think that writing is my strong point. So I joined test series after the prelims results were out. So in those 2-3 months, I did writing practice. Even my first mains, even after not qualifying, I did not take a lesson from that, and I was confident, overconfident, whatever you say. I did not join any test series in between. I joined test series for mains only after prelims was done. Same for essay, same for GS, and same for sociology. So I joined test series for all the subjects, and if you're asking institutes, it doesn't matter. All the institutes, it's just getting you into those writing practice. So you can take test series. I took for almost all the things.
What should be the goal for the 2026 attempt?
For
2026 attempt.
2026 attempt, start preparing, and just start with the optional. In June, I think optional courses start in most of the institutes. Whatever optional you think of taking, just start preparing for the optional. It will take you June, July, August, September. Some optional are lengthy, so till October, your optional would be done. Just consolidate your notes. What I did in sociology was notes consolidation, that you will get in that video. So consolidate your notes until January 31st. You need to be over with your mains preparation. And February, March, April, May, only prelims preparation. Some students take less time. They devote 3 months exclusively for prelims. But since prelims was always a nightmare to me, so I devote 4 months for prelims. So that is the overall strategy. It will differ from optional to optional and subjects you are strong in and weak in.
I mean, is there any difference on the interview type which we saw on the YouTube channels and the interview which happened in the reality? Like, is there any basic difference between both of them?
My interviews were more or less same. For example, opinion based. For example, my questions were more from DAF in the mock interview. In UPSC interviews, question was also from DAF most of the times. But my board was such that they did not ask much from the DAF. It was opinion based question. So what happens is, mock interview, the purpose of mock interview is not the repetition of question, to give you the framework, how to answer those questions, how to face. Some people have stage fear, they face difficulty in front of the people. Some people do not face that difficulty, they have problem in giving crisp answers. That was my problem. I used to speak too much. If they have asked question, I'll just start speaking non-stop until they stop me. So that was the problem. You need to crisp your answers. So that I got from the interview, how to make my questions not one big paragraph but 5-6 points. So interview prepare, not only interview, mock tests and mains test series, prelims test series, they do not, it's not about replication of the questions in the mains. Don't judge a test series ki how many questions got replicated in the actual exam. It will give you an imagination, a framework, a format to think how to approach those questions. Prelims, it gets you into the MCQ type mode. In mains, it gets you speed, it gets you structure, and however the test series are evaluated, you will get some inputs, how to improve and fetch that one extra mark in those questions. So that is the importance of mocks in all the 3 phases. Any other question, anyone?
Actually, I'm pursuing a geography honors from KMC Theoretical College, and I'm having a dilemma while choosing the optional. Actually, I have a background in geography. I'm a first year student, and I wanted to explore other optionals as well, like PSIR and sociology. So, ma'am, what should you suggest me while choosing the optional?
I told already ki interest in the optional. Do you have interest in geography? Can you comfortably sit with that subject for 12 hours continuously? Can you study for 2-3 months? That are the factors. And if you want to consider, you want to go objectively, you can see the marks trend, what are the marks. So I did not consider these things. I took the decision purely based on the subject I'm interested in, and I mean, of course I wanted to clear in first attempt, but sometimes that's not the reality, that's not practicality. Some people do, some people don't. So some subject which I can bear for 6 long attempts in the worst case scenario. So that was also a consideration.
My second question, supplementary question is that actually, ma'am, I was thinking of taking the coaching, and I'm in first year, so I'll be coming in second year this after few months. So it would be a relevant time to take a coaching or not?
Taking coaching, there is no objective answer to that. It depends on student to student. Some students do not prefer coaching. They cannot sit between so many students, and they cannot just cope up what is being taught in the class. They need to prepare in solace by themselves. But some people like to be competitive between so many people, what others are doing, and that student teacher mode they like to get in. So it depends from student to student, how you used to prepare in school, what kind of student you were, because this is an old school exam. This digital notes, AI, chat GPT, I don't stand by these things. So you have to get into the old school mode of studying, like how you used to do in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, not in college, but what you used to do in school, the pen paper, how much you gave efforts to score those good marks in class 10. So just get into that, how you used to be the student. Did you need coaching there? Did you not need coaching there? So I think those considerations help. So it differs from person to person. There is no objective answer to that, whether to join coaching or not. So you can take that decision. Wrap it up? Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, and all the best to all of you.
Thank you.